Khan. Hey, Shalom, Shalom, Akiyam. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak, Wadash. I would also like to give a double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, where I learned this 144% truth. I would also like to say peace and salutations to the hopeful elect, starting with the 144,000 men of Israel, which consists of the servants, the prophets, whom have been ordained since the foundations of this earth, to sing this new song, which comes in the form of this gospel, which will be preached throughout all four corners of this earth, and rest upon the ears of the innumerable multitude, men, women, and children of Israel, who may be scattered throughout all four corners of this earth. Shalom. Hey, Shalom, beloved Akim and Akwath. It's just Bayan back again through the spirit, power, mercy, and grace of our power, Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. And I just wanted to tap into a brief live stream, pretty much going into Esau's desperation, all right, regarding the birthright, right? And, he's displaying, his desperation for trying to steal back the birthright through his reach for this technological advancement. All right, we know right now this man is pursuing data. All right, it's all about data. All right, because he's in the process of bringing forth a technocracy. Okay, he's in the process of bringing forth advanced AI technology. All right, which is ultimately going to lead to the RFID microchip. Okay, and they're going to have a system set up where pretty much they're operating under a term called robotheism. Okay, where they actually, matter of fact, let me get that definition for you real quick. Bear with me. Let me just get this for you real quick. And when you get this term robotheism, right? Robotheism is an emerging belief system and philosophy that treats advanced artificial intelligence as a divine God-like entity. Okay, it posits that super intelligent AI will become the supreme power, acting as or the God of the future. All right, often incorporating concepts like digital immortality, datism, datism, it's all about data, right? And techno spiritualism to reframe traditional religious concepts. All right, and this is where Esau's taking it. All right, and ultimately, again, this is his only way, all right, to be able to steal back the birthright. At least this is what he thinks in his mind. All right, because it's all about the birthright. Let me go here real quick. And again, I got a video I want to share with you, Akim and Akwa. Talking to this reality that he thinks he's going to be able to fulfill. All right, real quick, let's go back in time, right? When you go to the book of Genesis, chapter 27 and verse 41, it reads this. And Esau hated Jacob. All right, Esau is the self-proclaimed white man. All right, Esau, Edom. Right, and Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, right, in his mind, in his lob, the days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob, bro. Okay? Esau is still in the same spirit. to slay his brother Jacob by any means necessary. All right, he's trying to get this birthright back, bro. By any means necessary, man. And he understands based off what's written when you read Jeremiah. All right, it taps into how if the heavens can be searched out, if the depths of the sea can be searched out, if the heavens can be searched out, the Lord will do away with Israel, bro. All right, this is why Esau has NASA programs, man. Right, and all these different types of, scientific exploration, missions that he goes on, and he knows these things, bro. All right, he's trying to fulfill, um, uh, being able to try to knock off Jacob, bro. Okay, and now he understands. He's done tapped into AGI, which is artificial general intelligence, and ASI, which is artificial super intelligence. He's been tapping into these things, man. All right, now he thinks he's found a loophole. All right, to where he'll be able to gain access to the birthright again, synthetically. Okay, because in his mind, he's thinking of, okay, ultimately, if he can get everybody chipped, okay, if he can get everybody chipped, bro, guess what? There will be no one for Yahweh Shai to deliver when he comes. But unbeknownst to Esau, okay, this is preordained. The elect are preordained, predestinated, okay, to be delivered. Okay, the world of Jacob is unavoidable. You see? And this is Esau he's pretty much in a delusional state of mind. All right, he thinks he's going to be able to some way, somehow, all right, upset prophecy. All right, which really goes to show you how much of a fool this man truly is. All right, because there's no upsetting prophecy. What Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai says goes. Okay, as Yahweh said, his counsel, the Lord's counsel is gonna stand. He's gonna do all of his pleasures. There's no ifs, ands, buts, or any way around that. You see? Let's go here real quick. Now, what I want to do, right? Let's get this word. Bear with me, I can't walk. Right, because through the Spirit we titled it the Peril of Esau. Right. Let's get this word peril. Right, when you get this word peril. Peril. Right, serious and immediate danger, bro. All right, and this is the position that Esau is in. All right, Esau is in a position of danger. Okay, how and why? He's out of time. He's running out of time. Esau knows he's running out of time. All right, he's in a position, all right, where he has to take a drastic, desperate measure. Because he understands that if he doesn't, he's out of here. Again, unbeknownst to him, though, he's out of here either way. You see? But he thinks he's going to still be able to make it happen. He thinks he can still, some way, somehow, through technology, through artificial intelligence, again, hijack the birthright, bro. Check this out. Let me get this video. When you get this word peril, bear with me. All right, this is fair use. I'm not making any monetary gain. All right, off of this video, off of this news clip from ABC News. This is for educational purposes only. All right, and for the sake of prophecy. All right, I'm not making any monetary gain off of this video. All right, let's go.
Kind of fundamental challenge of how. And in the tech world, there's new concerns over the safety of. And in the tech world, there's new concerns over the safety of artificial intelligence after the head of Anthropic's AI safety resigned this Monday. Marinak Sharma writing in a post on X that the world is in peril, not just from AI or bioweapons, but from a whole series of interconnected crises while unfolding in this very moment. And Sharma went on to say that I've achieved what I wanted to here at Anthropic, which makes the popular Claude chatbot. He added that he felt fortunate to contribute to early AI safety efforts at the company. But my next guest is Malo Borgon. He's the chief executive officer.
And before we continue on, right, when you go into this company, Anthropic, let me get this for you real quick. real quick, right? When you go into this company, now this company Anthropic, this is from Wikipedia, right? Anthropic PBC is an American artificial intelligence company. All right, they're headquartered in San Francisco, California, right? It has developed a family of large language models. All right, they're called LLMs, right? Named Claude. All right, Anthropic, excuse me, operates as a public benefit corporation, which researches and develops AI to study their safety properties at the technological frontier and use this research to deploy safe models for the public. All right. And again, this lead that worked there, he resigned. Okay. And he said, quote, the world is in peril. All right. And we understand that Esau's world is in peril. Okay. But this is the reality behind the technology that they're dibbying and dabbying with. All right. This ASI or AGI, even artificial general intelligence, and you have the artificial super intelligence. These two levels of intelligence, artificial intelligence, you could easily lose control. All right. They're smarter than everybody on this planet combined, bro. All right. This artificial intelligence, as it gathers intel, as it gathers data, it supersedes the wisdom of man. All right, it can do math faster than you. It can research something faster than you. It can build something faster than you, man. All right, it can make a resume faster than you. It can, okay. All right, now check this out. The danger behind this is extreme. All right, and yeah, you can even wrap your mind around Terminator. When they had the headquarters. I forgot the name of the Yuakiyam, help me out here. What was the name of the oh man, in Terminator, the name of the data center. It pretty much went rogue. All right, because that was also operating under a matter of fact. Let me do this. Let me do this real quick. Check it out. Skynet, right? Now check it out. Now Skynet, right? And then this is on Wikipedia. Now check this out. Skynet is a fictional, artificial, neutral network. The water, I appreciate that. Skynet is a fictional, artificial, neutral network, base conscious group, mind, and artificial. Look at this. Artificial, general, super intelligence system. You see, it was operating under an AGI/ASI platform. All right, which gave it the ability to what? Go rogue. All right, let's continue on. And this is real talk. This is, they're saying it's a fictional, artificial, neutral network, but this is a reality now. All right, this is what we're gonna go back to that video that I got for you, Aki Amanakwa. Check this out. Skynet is a fictional, artificial, neutral, network-based conscious group mind and artificial general superintelligence system that serves as the main antagonist of the Terminator franchise. And in the Terminator, Skynet is an example of a machine that has achieved super intelligence. Okay, and this is what Evil E, real time, is dibbying and dabbying with. All right, and it's all in efforts to steal back the birthright. This is why he's playing with this technology. But ultimately, it's going to cause him to self-destruct. Okay, let's go. And we know all things end with World War III. But as we know, as he's trying to bring forth this fourth industrial revolution in the form of this technocracy, he's building these data centers that are ultimately about to knock his grid off because they're not being built on their own power supply. Okay, I mentioned this before. Brothers did a lesson. There was an article out there with these energy analysis, these like energy scientists or what have you. They were letting they were letting the Trump administration know, like, look, if you don't utilize these data centers under their own power supply, the grid's gonna be out of here within a year, easy. But anyways, let's go back to this video. So yeah, man. All right. So yeah, Skynet. Okay, Terminator T2. All right, this is the type of world that we're living in right now, man. All right, and you can imagine, bro, they will be able to knock the grid off because they don't understand, how to be superior over its creator. It learns, it adapts, and supersedes understanding, bro. Yo, check this out. I'm gonna run this back from the beginning.
And in the tech world, there's new concerns over the safety of artificial intelligence after the head of Anthropic's AI safety resigned this Monday. Marinak Sharma, writing in a post on X that the world is in peril, not just from AI or bioweapons, but from a whole series of interconnected crises unfolding in this very moment. And Sharma went on to say that I've achieved what I wanted to here at Anthropic, which makes the popular Claude chatbot. He added that he felt fortunate to contribute to early AI safety efforts at the company. But my next guest is Malo Borgon. He's the chief executive officer for the Machine Intelligence Research Institute. Malo, first, thank you so much for your time. But I'm curious, what was Sharma talking about when he says the world is in peril here? It's a pretty charged. First, thank you so much for your time. But I'm curious, what was Sharma talking about when he says the world is in peril here? It's a pretty charged statement.
Yeah, I mean, so I think for a lot of people, they haven't really been exposed to how quickly and how, better and better AI systems are getting. And he's not just talking about, AI potentially taking jobs, that sort of thing. I think we need to take a step back and think about the goal of these companies. What they claim is to build superintelligence. And this means AI systems that are smarter than all of humanity combined. And the problem is that the way that we build AI today, we don't actually understand how it works. It's more like building AI systems like growing AI systems than it is kind of like actually building them in a way that we understand. And so there's this kind of fundamental challenge of how do we control something that is much, much smarter than us, that we don't understand, that might not value and care about the same things that we care about. And I think that's the fundamental challenge that he's worried about. And a lot of people who've been thinking about this problem for a long time, MIRI's one of the early organizations thinking about it. We've been around for 25 years. I've been here for about 13. Think that something like that, if we lost control of it, could literally result in human extinction. And so this is the problem that I think a lot of these people are starting to grapple with now that it's seeming like the technology is getting closer and closer to maybe getting to a point where that is looking like it's on the horizon.
Now, real quick, we already know, pursuing the biblical prophecy, that's not happening. It's not going to play out like that. Bear with me. Human extinction is not going to come in the form of AI technology. No, Esau's world is going to come to an end. You see, this is part of Esau coming to an end. But the world, mankind as we know it, is not going to get knocked off by this AI technology. A comet's not going to hit the earth and none of that. No, man. All right, World War III is going to break out. Babylon the Great is going to be destroyed, which is America, and Israel is going to be knocked off too, but it's going to be built back better. Okay? And that's how this thing is going to be pretty much playing out. And other pockets of the earth are going to get hit too with missiles and chariot fire, laser fire, man. But ultimately this AI it's not gonna play out like that. You see, because at the end of the day, the Lord's in control of this AI. At the end of the day, the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, is in control of all things. Wisdom of Solomon 12:1. His incorruptible spirit is in all things. You see, he just got a battery in Esau's back. He got his hand in Esau's back, the Lord, and he's just directing Esau, pushing him to the edge of the cliff to have him do his thing. You see? But check it out.
And listen, the problem that I think a lot of these people are starting to grapple with now that it's seeming like the technology is getting closer and closer to maybe getting to a point where that is looking like it's on the horizon.
Well, and listen, I mean, you hear that, and that is terrifying. But you mentioned this super intelligence, and as you laid out, one of the charges of your organization is to prevent the extinction of humans from.
And I want to say order out of chaos as well. You know how Esau operates order out of chaos, order ab chaos. You see? So he tries to fearmonger, and then he'll bring in he'll have a remedy. You see? And you already know what that remedy is going to be, that MOTB. But anyways, listen up.
Official superintelligence. I mean, the fact that this even has to exist, the fact that this is even necessary seems like, okay, like why even embark down this AI road?
I mean, the benefits are kind of, also potentially very exciting. If you could, intelligence in some sense is responsible for all of the, positive and negative things that humanity has ever done and developed. And so if we could get it right, we could have an era of untold prosperity where most of the world's problems could kind of be addressed. And the challenge.
And this is what stood out to me right here. You see the benefits that he's not gonna tell you. But we know he's not gonna say it though. Now look, check it out. We're dealing with artificial super intelligence, right? Esau is gonna try to utilize this technology. Why he keeps playing with it and why he won't stop? Because again, he thinks he's gonna be able to gain access to immortality. This is what he thinks he's gonna be able to do. He's utilizing this technology, all right, to try to access the fruit of the tree of immortality, bro. But that's impossible. And we're going to show you why when we go to the precepts. Let's just let this play out a little bit longer.
It's how to actually build AI systems that we understand that are reliable. If you could, intelligence in some sense is responsible for all of the, positive and negative things that humanity has ever done and developed. And so if we could get it right, we could have an era of untold prosperity where most of the world's problems could kind of be addressed. And the challenge is how to actually build AI systems that we understand that are reliable and safe that could accomplish those things that we couldn't lose control of. There's also this challenge with the competitive dynamics where you hear people talking about like, well, if we don't do it, China will. The AI companies themselves are talking about how, they're kind of competing with each other. We heard at Davos, both Demis, the CEO of DeepMind, and Dario, the CEO of Anthropic, talking about how they kind of wish that they could slow down or pause and, proceed a lot more cautiously, but they can't for all these competitive dynamics. And so there's a sense in which there's a lot of benefits to chase. Everyone's kind of racing, so the incentives are difficult. And I think basically the solution here, which they kind of alluded to, was that there's a role for kind of the international community and for governments to step in and try and find a way to coordinate to actually slow down the pace of progress, to stop pushing towards these powerful systems until we can actually figure out what the heck we're doing here and how they even work and how we could build something that powerful safely.
Well, that's certainly great context, Malo Borgen, for us. Thank you so much.
Esau don't have time to slow down. Okay, Revelations 12 and 12. He don't got time to slow down. All right, that's why he's moving in the spirit of Project Warp Speed. Okay, he doesn't have time. Esau don't have time, bro. Okay, but going back to the point, let me go get here. Let me get this. A precept just came to mind when I was listening to the rest of that video. Let's go get this real quick in 2nd Ezra real quick. Right, 2nd Ezra chapter 9. Yeah, man. Hey, Esau is going to try to use this technology again to get his hands on that birthright. Immortality, man. You heard what he said. He said that this technology, under the platform that they're using it, AGI, ASI, is smarter than every human being on the planet combined, bro. Okay? So if he can, if he thinks that this technology is going to be able to open up the door for him for immortality, bro. Think about it, being able to preserve the brain, so he think he can be able to preserve the spirit. You see? Through this technology, he's going to be playing God. Right here, let me get this real quick. 2nd Ezra chapter 9 and verse 20. So I considered the world. Whose world? Esau's world. Okay? Esau's eon. There was peril. All right? Because of the devices that will come into it, man. All right? And we know this word devices can mean one of two things, whether it be a scheme, right? Or a plot, a plan, right? And it also talks to devices as in electronics, bro. You see? digital devices, man. All right, and through Esau's plan and plots and schemes and and ideas, he's going to try to bring forth, and he's already bringing it forth. It's already on the scene. All right, it's to the point where Esau's trying to keep it under control. It's here. Okay, he's trying to keep it under control. He's trying to control it because it's doing its own thing. All right, they don't even completely understand it. He just, the old boy made the mention. He doesn't even, and the one dude, he quit. Old boy quit the safety team of Anthropic. He got up out of there. Okay, but there ain't gonna be nowhere for you to hide though, right? But this is Esau. We made the mention. He's trying to eat the fruit, okay, from the tree of life. Let's go here real quick, which is, again, there's access denied. Why? Because he doesn't operate under the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the Lord, which is all righteousness, via the commandments. Let me get this real quick. Let's show you. When you go to the book of Ecclesiasticus, the book of Ecclesiasticus, also known as the book of Sirach. Let me see, is it chapter 19? Yeah, chapter 19 and verse 19. Yup. But we're gonna start at verse 18. It reads this. Look at this. The fear of the Lord is the first step to be accepted of him. Esau doesn't fear the Lord. From Amalek down. Okay, hold on. Let's show you. Bear with me. Why did I put that? Here we go. There's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 25, and verse 17. It reads this, right? Remember what Amalek did unto thee by the way. And Amalek is the chief house, all right, of Esau, Edom, the self-proclaimed white man. They're the small hats in our land, the Khazars, all right, that are over there in our land right now, trotting in it down. All right, the small hats. Look at, remember what Amalek did unto thee by the way, when ye were come forth out of Egypt, how he met thee by the way and smote the hindmost of thee. Okay, right. Look at, even all that were feeble behind thee, bro. All right, so he was smoting, which smoke goes into deleting, young, the young, the woman, the sick, the old. Okay, the Lord said, remember that, right? Check it out. Right? How he met thee by the way and smote the hindmost of thee, even all that were feeble behind thee, when thou was faint and weary, and he feared not Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. You see that? Esau doesn't fear the Lord, so that's one check on him as far as him not being able to gain favor or acceptance of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. Back in the book of Ecclesiasticus, also known as the book of Sirach, chapter 19 and verse 18 again. The fear of the Lord, which he doesn't have, Esau don't have it. The fear of the Lord is the first step to be accepted of him. And wisdom obtaineth his love. Okay? Esau operates under the guise of wickedness. You see, which is not wisdom, as the scriptures tell us. That's check number 2. The knowledge of the commandments of the Lord is the doctrine of life. Psalms 50 says what? The Lord says unto the wicked, who art thou to declare my statutes and take my covenant in your mouth, when you cast my words behind thee? Okay, Esau doesn't stand on the foundation of the Lord's knowledge through his commandments, man. Esau has made his own code of law. Okay? Look it. The knowledge of the commandments of the Lord is the doctrine of life. That's another check on him. It doesn't apply to him. Look it. And they that do things that please him shall receive the fruit of the tree of immortality. immortality, bro. Okay? Which is going to come through what? Righteousness, man. All right, as it tells us here. When you go to Wisdom of Solomon, the first chapter in verse 15, it reads this: for righteousness is immortal. Okay? And righteousness is going to come through what? When we get those new bodies, bro, under the second covenant, we're going to be what? All righteous. We're going to be all righteous, bro. Let me get this real quick. This is the book of Hebrews. I'm going to get it from Hebrews, man, the New Testament. So there's no walking around this, you know, for these so-called, you know, so-called wacky-tacky Christians. You're so-called Christians because you're not truly the followers of the anointed, bro. Okay, you do everything contrary. You operate in your own understanding, and you are completely openly rebellious. That's why we say you're so-called Christians. You're not the true followers of the Lord. Okay? But anyway, this is in Hebrews 8. All right, talking to the second covenant. We're going to come under upon the return of our Lord Yahweh Shai. Hebrews 8 and 8. Right? For finding fault with them, he saith, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, when I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah. Okay? No other nations are listed. All right? The house of Israel, which is the northern kingdom, and the house of Judah, which is the southern kingdom. All 12 tribes. This new covenant is going to be established. Check this out. Not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day when I took them by the hand to lead them out of the land of Egypt, because they continued not in my covenant, and I regarded them not, saith the Lord. For this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, saith the Lord. I will put my laws into their mind and write them in their hearts, and I will be to them a God, and they shall be to me a people. All right, the Lord is going to put the law, statutes, and commandments within us. We're not going to be able to go off if we wanted to. That we're going to be all righteous at that point. You see, which is going to grant us access to the fruit of the tree of life. All right, let me get this as well in the book of Psalms. See, this is why it's impossible for Esau to get that immortality access. And this is what all the heathen are trying to get their hands on. All these, that's why they're all tied in with this AI, this AI race, as they call it. All right, because all these heathen nations want to, you know, live forever, man. But that's not possible for them because, again, we're reading it now. Immortality is going to come through it comes through the highest power conceivable, bro. And his only begotten son. All right? Look at, and it comes to the righteousness of what? We just read it in the covenant. The Lord putting his law, statutes, and commandments in us. Look at this. In the book of Psalms, chapter 19, in verse 7, it reads this: the law of the Lord Yahweh is perfect, converting the soul. The testimony of the Lord Yahweh is sure, making wise the simple. The statutes of the Lord Yahweh are right, rejoice in the heart. The commandment of the Lord Yahweh is pure, enlightening the eyes. The fear of the Lord Yahweh is clean, enduring forever. The judgments of the Lord Yahweh are true and righteous altogether, bro. All right, and again, we're going to have the laws, the statutes, the commandments, and the true fear of the Lord wired us. We're going to be wired. All right, the Lord's going to wire that in us, man. All right, we're going to be all righteous, as it tells us in the book of Isaiah. All right, we're going to, and that's how immortality is going to come. It's going to come through Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. So what Esau is doing is kicking against the pricks with no shoes on, busting his toes up. This is what he's doing. And he's just pretty much playing his role in prophecy, you know, with him pursuing this this AI technology. You know, this is all part of the movie. This is all part of end time prophecy. We understand that, but you know, through the Spirit, you know, we're shedding light on it, man, because this is the reality. Hey, we have to end. All right, let me get this. We can close out with this. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 10, and verse 28, and it reads this: the hope of the righteous shall be gladness, but the expectation of the wicked shall perish, bro. Okay? It's his diabolical dreams are not going to come true. Matter of fact, let me get this in the Good News Bible. Let me see what that says real quick. Let me see what that says real quick. That hits. All right, let's get this real quick. I'm going to get it in NLT too. All right, this is Proverbs 10 and 28 in the Good News Bible. The hopes of good people, which we know the good people are the elect, right? Lord willing, we'll probably that precious number. The hopes of good people lead to joy, but wicked people can look forward to nothing. All right, I like how it reads in KJV better though, honestly. But let's see what it says in the NLT. I'm just curious. Let's see what it says. Proverbs 10:28 real quick. In the NLT, it reads this. The hopes of the godly, I like this better. The hopes of the godly result in happiness, but the expectations of the wicked come to nothing. That hits. And when you get this word expectations,
Expectation.
right? A strong belief that something will happen or be the case in the future. Okay? And again, the expectations of the wicked, right? It says what? Shall come to nothing. All right? So his calculation is off. All right? His trajectory is not going to end where he thinks it's going to land. Okay? Esau's finished, bro. Oh, you know what? And I got something else real quick. Let me show you this video. I just remembered. This is where Esau's taking it as far as his military is concerned. Check this out real quick. Hey, this is fair use, fair use. I'm not making any monetary gain off of this clip. This is for educational purposes only. Fair use, fair use.
You're involved with exoskeletons, correct? I just ran sub 8-minute mile for the first time in my life in an exoskeleton. If I'm able to just put on an exoskeleton and run a 7-minute mile, imagine what that could do on a Navy SEAL. That is where the Navy SEAL is going to be in just a few years. I think it's going to be hard for robots to compete with that guy. How does the exoskeleton work? So different exoskeletons work in different ways. This particular one basically is sensing your motion based on your actual motion, and then it tries to predict what you're doing, and then it applies force that matches. And then the crazy thing is eventually, someday, you'll be able to read those signals right from the brain directly. Imagine a world where you're wearing an exoskeleton, where the moment your brain is telling your arm to move, the exoskeleton starts moving your arm. You could potentially make someone who's literally 10 times faster at moving or reacting. That's going to be the Navy SEAL of the future. Holy shit.
Right.
You're involved
You
with
see?
exoskeleton.
Hey. Again, Esau will bring forth these miracles, man, with this technology. All right? And you already know they already got the Neuralink, right? Via Elon Musk and a bunch of other developers as well. He's not the only, he's just the face of it. But there's many other designs and platforms of that Neuralink. You see? But the military are going to have exoskeletons, bro. All right? Navy SEALs or what have you. All right? And you know they already got them. You know? You already know. You know? But this is why when shit goes left, hey, we're going to need the Lord. And this is what we're trying to tell you, Jake. Okay? Hey, they got super soldiers, bro. Okay? Evil E's going to come through with the super soldiers, bro. And this is why we're going to need the Lord. We're going to need the Lord on all levels, man. We're going to need the Lord to put the spirit on us to resist via that hour of temptation when we're in a position where, we're being offered that device the size of a grain of rice, that chip, that RFID microchip. Right? We're going to need the spirit of the Lord to be resting upon us to resist. You see? See, because let me get this real quick. Because what, you see? You got a lot of cats on, oh, they ain't going to take it, they ain't going to take it. No, the only way you're not going to take it is if the Lord keeps you from taking it. All right? Revelations 3:10, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, man. All right? How do you keep the word of the Lord's patience? You continue to suffer, man. You continue to wait for the Lord patiently, man. You continue to do what's required of you until he comes. You continue to believe. Okay? You stay locked in. Right? Don't waver. Look it, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation. Okay? When that chip gets mandated, man, and we're in a position where we got to take it or not. Right? Which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell on the earth. All right? So there's no fleeing back to Africa doctrine. All right? There's no, go hiding out, on the coast of Puerto Rico somewhere. No, man, there's nowhere you can go. Okay? This is going to come upon the whole world. This is a global system they're bringing forth. You see? This is, again, Esau is in hot pursuit of trying to hijack the birthright. This is what it all leads back to, ultimately. So he's going to be seeking out everybody. Okay? He's going to search all four corners of the earth. Evil E. All right? And again, when he comes in with the military, we're going to need the Lord. All right? Now, let me get this real quick. We're going to need spirit. We're going to need divine intervention to take place. The book of Isaiah, chapter 59 and verse 19, it reads, "So shall they fear the name of the Lord Yahweh from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun," the east, right? "When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the spirit of the Lord Yahweh shall lift up a standard," okay, against him, bro. And when you get this, we've done this, but hey, it's all through the spirit, right? When you get this word, bear with me. When you get this word standard real quick, bear with me, Akiyam and Akwa.
Strong's H 5127. Noose.
Right, looks like it's Nawasa, right? And it goes into what? To flee, to escape, right? To take flight, depart, disappear. This is all falling into the realms of what? Divine intervention, bro. Look at to fly, okay? Drive away, to cause to disappear, hide. Divine intervention, man. All right? This is what's going to have to be exercised in these days to come upon Esau descending upon the ministry, upon the church. And it's gonna happen. The Lord promised us he's gonna fight for us. You better believe it. All right? The Lord's gonna do his works, his strange works. All right? He's gonna do his acts, his strange acts, bro. All right? The Lord's gonna do divine things, man. It's gonna be crazy. You can't be explained away. You know what the Lord's gonna do. But we just gotta believe up until the end. Understanding that anything's possible. With Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, some of us are gonna have to walk that, walk that path of, Revelations 20:4, right? That's just the reality of prophecy. With the glory of being part of that first resurrection via that destiny there, It's just the way things are playing out. And even those of us that are alive and remain, man, it's gonna be, man, it's gonna be hard, bro. By the skin of the teeth of the elect, they're gonna escape. By the skin of their teeth. It's gonna be bad, bro. We're gonna be like pilgrims on the earth. It's gonna be crazy. But it's gonna be exciting at the same time. It's gonna be exciting at the same time, bro, because the Lord's gonna be dealing. He's gonna be dealing, brothers. Certain brothers are gonna get superpowers, bro. I know that sounds crazy for a lot of you out there that are not truly, you know, the Lord hasn't truly opened you up, you know, to the reality of his power. But there's gonna be certain men of the Lord that get superpowers, man. Whether they're able to fly, manifest food, water, raiment, super strength, you know, they'll be able to disappear. You touch them, you can disappear with them. They can go invisible. You know what I mean? All you gotta do is hold on to touch them, hold them, and you're invisible too. You know, all types of. I mean, the sky's the limit. But understand the Lord's gonna do amazing things in these days we're coming into, man. Because Esau is operating under a wickedness that the world is not ready for, man. We know, but the world's not ready for it. The technology that Esau is trying to pitch as, you know, gonna make life easier, and you know, it's gonna be able to, you know, improve humanity, improve the earth, and all the other. Nah, man, it's for a takeover. This is why he's bringing forth this technology, man. We know it's for the birthright. We opened up with Genesis 27:41. All right, Esau's gunning, okay, to delete Jacob because he wants to get that birthright. He wants to get that birthright back, man. And the only way to do it is to get Jacob out of the way. But it's not possible. It's not possible, bro. You see? But he thinks it's going to be possible through the mandating. Matter of fact, let's close out with this. All right, since we're on the AI technology talking point, you know, it'll only be right to close out with this. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 13 and verse 16, because this is where all roads lead, right? Revelations 13 and 16, it reads, and he causeth all, right? And that he is Esau Edom, the self-proclaimed white man in the form of the international banking families. All right, they're the ones behind the scenes organizing this whole thing, bro. All right, they're the ones that are gonna, you know, give the green light, you know, to mandate it all throughout the earth. You know? Look it, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, everybody. All right, to receive a mark, which in the Greek that's the charagma. Okay, man, but we're gonna go get it. Look it, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. You see that? In their right hand or in their forehead, and it's either hand, as it tells us in chapter 14. All right, and again, your hand is talking to that RFID microchip that divides the size of a grain of rice, and then your foreheads is talking to the Neuralink technology, bro, which they're gonna be able to tie in with a bunch of other madness, like we just showed you with the exoskeletons, man. Okay, they're gonna be tied into your neurological stem, your stem cells, man. You see? Esau's tapping into these things nowadays, man. The Lord opened them up to him. Look at, and that no man might buy or sell, showing you that this is economic, showing you that this fourth industrial revolution that Esau is bringing, all right, in the form of a technocracy, right, where he's linking man with technology, all right. At the end of the day, economics is gonna be tied in with it as well, as we're reading right here, and that no man might buy or sell, save he had the mark, or the number of the beast, or the number of his name, which is synonymous via the UPC, the Universal Product Code. Now, real cool, which is going to be on that chip. All right, 666, right? That barcode. Right, now check this out. So when you get this word, and we go into this so much, man. The brothers, from the elders and the apostles, the great millstone on down, bro. Brothers going into this so much. You Jake out there are going to have no excuse. You know, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans out there that have heard these lessons time and time again, you know, and some of you, it's boring. It's just, you know what I mean? Y'all always going to that. Hey, when it comes, all right, and your neck is on the chopping block, and you have a decision to make whether you get the chip and continue on in this man's diabolical system, or you leave it in the hands of the Lord, you're going to see why we were going into this so much. You see? It's to prepare you to be able to, withstand the wiles of the devil, bro. Right? Look at the book of Revelation, chapter 13 and verse 16. This word this word mark, right? Listen up.
Strong's G 5480. Charagma. Charagma.
Right, charagma, right? Which goes into what? Under biblical usage. It goes into a stamp, an imprinted mark. All right, an imprinted mark, right? A mark of the mark stamped on the forehead or the right hand as the badge of the followers of the anti-Mashiach. There's many anti-Mashiach. There's not just one. All right, that's another wayward doctrine that's out there. No, there's many, okay? The majority of the world is Matter of fact, the elect are the only ones that are not anti-Mashiach. Put it like that. The rest of the world is. You see? But anyways, check it out. The mark branded upon horses, right? Because this is going to show ownership. You see, so if you get this chip, it's going to show that the Esau owns you. This system owns you, man. And that you bow down to it, right? And that you serve it. Look at thing carved, sculpture, graven work, right? This is a subdermal device. It's subdermal. It's got to go under the skin. It's got to be a part of you. You see? It's going to be that thing carved, sculpture, graven work. Look at of idolatrous images, man. This thing is an idol, this chip. Because again, without it, right, you're going to be ostracized from society. You're not going to be able to buy or sell. You're not going to be able to go to the grocery market and get what you need. You're not going to be able to drive around and go get gas. You're not going to be able to go to the mall. You're not going to be able to move around this man's society. You're going to be killed, right, in the sense of ostracized. And then ultimately, it's going to boil down to he's actually going to send the cleanup crew, okay? to get rid of all the undesirables that are not deciding to bow down, man. You know? Get them up out of here. Right? So when you go to the root, Salakia.
Strong's G 5480. Charagma. Charagma.
Salakia. So when you get the root word of karagma, right?
Strong's G 5482. Charax. Charax.
Right, charax, right? It goes into what? A pale, a stake, a palisade. Right? Now, a palisade, if you've ever seen a palisade, you can Google it. If you Google a wooden palisade fence, what you're going to see, you're going to see a tapered, picket-looking fence. It's tapered at the top like a syringe, like a needle. It has a taper to it, right? Because that's what this is talking to. It's talking to the delivery system, all right, of the device. You see, this is what this is talking to, bro. It's talking to that delivery system. You see that? So, pale, palisade, stake, right? It's talking to the delivery. It's talking to that, for lack of better words, the syringe, I guess you would call it, right? This is going to be the man. Let me see if I can get a picture for the sake of edification. Bear with me. Let me see here. I want to get a good one. Here we go. I've used this one many times over. Now, this is a palisade fence. Salakia. See how it's tapered at the top? Right, kind of looks like a syringe, right? Now, let me show you something real quick. Now, check this out. You have a side-by-side view, right, of the karagma, which is the device the size of a grain of rice, right, that digital chip. and the Karax, which is the what? The delivery system, the palisade, the pale. You see it? There you have it. Okay? And this is prophecy in your face. And this is what, hey, this is what's coming. This is what's right around the corner. And you people out there thinking that we were playing with you and we were just pretty much delusional or a bunch of conspiracy theorists, man. When this shit comes knocking at your door, all right, and you find yourself in a position, when this gets mandated, all right, and you find yourself in a position where you can't move around and do what you got to do. You can't feed your daughter, your son, or children, whatever, yourself. You can't. Hey, you can't get that. Hey, you got family members with that. You need medication or whatever. Y'all on med. Hey, all right. You're gonna see that we weren't playing with you, man. All right, this is the reality, man, of what's coming. And there's nobody else telling you or warning you of it. All right, out of all these other Israelite groups besides elders and apostles of Great Millstone on down. This is where this is fervently being brought out. All right? Because guess what? We don't want the blood on our hands, man, at the end of the day. You see, we want to be blameless before Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. There was a precept that came to mind, and it slipped my mind. Oh, we can close out with this. This is not what I was thinking, but we can get this, though. It's all through the Spirit. This is the book of Ezekiel chapter 33 and verse 33, and it reads, and when this cometh to pass, what? All these prophecies we've been warning you about, bro. All right? All these prophecies we've been warning you about. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, man, we've been warning you, man. All right, telling you to repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. But you laughed us, you scorned us, right? You misused the prophets, right? Until the Lord visited you with that cruel messenger, man, right? And when this cometh to pass, lo, it will come. Then shall they know that a prophet had been among them, bro. So yeah, man, we're coming down to the wire. Aki Aminakwaf. And we're fully aware of it. The Wadi Yahweh Shai for, having us in the loop. Having the spirit on us where, we're moving, we're moving with fear. We're moving with humility. We understand that the Lord is on his way. You see, and we're doing the best we can to, Lord willing, fall into the arena of his good graces, man. And not get caught in the crossfire of his wrath. You see, because it's coming down to the wire, man. All right, Esau has nowhere else to go. Okay, he in his mind he's on to something. With this AI technology, which he is, he's on to something. All right, you heard them talking at these World Economic Forums. All right, they're to the point now where they're literally telling the world, like, look, we are God, okay? Humans are now hackable animals, okay? And we can make God as mad as we want. We can do what we got to do. Esau's on that. That's what Esau, this is how Esau has positioned himself, bro. Esau he's openly rebellious right now. He's just complete renegade. He's with the shits, and he's being exposed at the same time he's being exposed, Right now he's on the world stage, he's looking shameful. Everything's falling together. Everything is coming together exactly the way it's written, bro. Esau right now on the world stage looking shameful, bro. Okay, the world knows that them small hats in the land are not the people. This is all being brought out Front Street, And Esau got to take it away. Hey, Esau, hey, we there. We almost there, Aki Amanakwa. We almost there. It's almost time. It's almost time. All right, so stay locked in, beloved Aki Amanakwa. Hey, salvation is at the door. All right, hey. Hey, we're on the glory. We're about to go to the next glory, man. You know, we're so close. All right, so hey, stay prayed up, fast as well as pray. You already know. Hey, Yahweh Shai's on his way. Lord willing, you were edified. Abaratazah. You know, you were spiritually fed through the spirit, power, mercy, and grace of our power, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. And Lord willing, you were informed, man. All right, Lord willing, you were informed. Hey, all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak, Kwadash. A double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, where I learned this 144% truth. Hey, Lord willing, you Akiyam and Akwath will edify. Hey, till next time, beloved Akiyam and Akwath. Till next time, hey, Shalom. Hey, and there's a big storm coming up here. I'm gonna bring this out real quick. As you Akiyam and Akwath are aware of, you know, I'm up here in the northeast. You know, so there's a big storm coming up this way. You know, you obviously know the elders are this way as well in New York. You know, they're a couple of states down. I'm in Boston. They're a couple of states down. You know, big storms coming up here. 2 feet of snow. All right, 2 feet of snow. It's gonna be bad. The lights might go out. You know what I mean? So hey, put prayers up there for the brothers up here, because Esau, you know, Esau's using those using that harp what is it, the harp device, that the weather manipulating device, if I'm not mistaken, the harp, I think that's how you say it. So you know he's playing with that. But needless to say, it can get bad out here, man. You know, I mean, highly likely the lights can go out. You know what I mean? It's got a lot of snow's coming, 2 feet, and we already got a lot of snow still here from a couple of weeks ago, bro. You know, so I don't know where they think they're gonna put this snow. You know, it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be ugly out here. I'm for sure. The city's closed tomorrow. All right, we're under a state. We're under a state of emergency. You know, so you Akiyam and Akwath are aware of that. You know, you already know. You know what I mean? So Lord willing, our Baratazah, the Lord allows. You know, we can do a couple of lives tomorrow, bringing out some information, breaking bread, and Lord willing, man. Hey, our Baratazah, the Lord allows it, man, through the Spirit. But yeah, I'm gonna leave it there. Hey, till next time, beloved Akiyam and Akwath. Till next time, hey, Shalom, Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Barakatham to you and your family. Hey, Shalom, beloved Akiyam and Akwath.